Well, first of all, hi, Janet.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for just agreeing to sit down and talk to me today about your business. I'm super excited to hear where your business is going. And for those listening that don't know who you are, share a little bit about yourself and how we know each other.
Sure. So my name is Janet Tanguay, and for 13 years I ran an entrepreneur boot camp at the Capital Region Chamber and worked with early stage entrepreneurs, helping them grow. Businesses 1 to 5 years old. People would come in with an idea and we'd help bring that to fruition. And I really found my passion when I found that piece of it.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. And so the way that you and I met was I was one of the students, I guess, in the entrepreneur boot camp, and that was a couple years ago now, and that's kind of how you and I got introduced. And then you're somebody who's I like to describe as maybe a connector. Mm-hmm. Like you're somebody that knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and whenever I talk to you, you're always like, oh, talk to that person or write that person's name down or wherever. So
yeah, I really, that happened organically. By being at the chamber, you meet a lot of people, and so one of the things I loved was to sort of see that, and I think you have to sort of have that kind of mind, right? You're not just meeting people, but I'm like, who else can they help? How can this person help this person? And you build a community that way. And and then people started coming to me and said, who do you know? Or if I didn't know somebody, I would say, if you find the answer to that question, call me, because I want to build my portfolio too of connections. So let me know who that is. And I keep all the names and numbers, although I will say that I lost a few in the transition, and everything's coming up in numbers now, and I'm reassociating names with them. So that's sort of fun and interesting and a way to connect with people. But so I love that piece of what I do. That's really what I'm known for. So
how long were you at the chamber?
I was there for 13 years. And prior to that, I managed a staffing agency for 10 years. And I started in this area in film and video. I was an associate producer, and before that, I worked in radio as a talk show producer.
So this should be natural for you.
Yeah, it's sort of fun. It's sort of fun for me. I like the whole audio pice of it.
Yeah, so, I hear you too. Yeah. Okay, where are we right now?
Yeah, so we are in my chaos. I actually love to create in chaos. So I'm a mixed media artist, and when I'm creating, I like things at my fingertips. So the more I have in my space, the more I don't have to stop, go find a drawer for it. I like to just kind of go with whatever's happening in the moment. And I learned that over time, that it was about the process and not the end result, and kind of just go with the flow. I'll show you some of the paintings afterwards, but I did this one painting where so it's 3-dimensional, so I work with glue a lot, and the glue dripped from an eye, and it actually was powerful because it became a tear, and I didn't anticipate that. And I used to wipe it up and think it was the wrong thing, but now I just sort of say, oh, that's an interesting thing. I wonder where this is going. And it's really trusting the universe to say, oh yeah, this might be something in the end if you just trust it.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. Does your business look like now, and how did you get there, I guess?
Okay. This is what it looks like now. So I also owned another business. So I'm a serial entrepreneur in some regard, but I've always had a side hustle, right? Okay. Which is sort of a hobby business. So I had a company called Art and Soul where I represented other artists and helped them get their work into galleries and private collections and things like that. So I sort of, because I was an artist and did it myself, they were like, well, how, you're doing it, how can I do it? And so I wanted to help people, and so ended up in that business for a while. But what happened by being around so many entrepreneurs over the years is that I saw people doing it, and I really felt like I waited way too long, right? Like Grandma Moses, right? And so I'll be doing it at 90. But I really felt like it was time for me to jump in and just see if I could make a business fly. And I don't know if you know this now, but I actually have 2 businesses since I launched. So one of them is called Hammock Way of Life, and it started out sort of as a joke. We had an instructor of the program that used to match me up with someone about our vision for the future, and my vision has been for the last few years to be in a hammock somewhere on an island or just somewhere warm and tropical, and to be doing what I'm doing, but in a less stressed way, on my own terms, and I wanted to help other people live their dreams as well, right? So it's sort of the same thing. So I started this business called the Hammock Way of Life with the idea that I would interview people from a hammock which I regret now. I probably should have called it Adirondack Chair Way of Life, because hammocks are really hard to get in and out of. But it's been great. I interview successful people, and just people sort of up and coming as well, from a hammock, just to be inspirational about lots of different
like
things.
Two hammocks side by, like, give me a visual.
Well,
like, are you in the hammock, like Skyping somebody, or are you like side by side in a hammock somewhere?
Okay, so the first video that we did, we had a drone guy, Tom Mittler from Husoft Solutions, was with, and Jamel Mosley was there, and we had one hammock. We thought that would be a great idea to set up in one hammock. And Jen Dugan from the Makeup Curio was our first interviewee. And so Jen is probably a foot taller than I am, and so we sat in the middle of the hammock, and then both of our heads were looking up at the sky, right? And then we went to get out of it, and we fell out of it, and then we got back in it in the right way, but in the final video, all you can see are my little feet, because the camera's behind my head, and Jen. And anyway, it was corny but fun, but I decided at that moment that I would not be in one hammock with I'm good friends with Jen, and it's fine, but I'm not always going to be that close to people.
Right? So, you don't want to fall into a hammock with strangers.
Right. And so we did the second one with Gretchen Meyer at her pool by poolside. So we're sort of so really now the hammock is a metaphor for living the life of your dreams. So that could be doing the work that you love. It could be by the poolside. It could be somewhere tropical. It's just wherever people are in their dreams. Okay. So that's where I'm doing. And I work with a variety of coaches. The other piece of this is that in order to put me in a hammock more often, I wanted other coaches to come along on the team with me, so that I can go into companies and do team building and vision boarding, but then someone who has Myers-Briggs experience or DISC assessment, emotional intelligence, Six Sigma, all sorts of things, can go in with me, or if I'm not available, they can go in on their own. And so I'm building a portfolio of other coaches and trusted service providers like yourself, who are part of my team. And that way, if somebody needs a podcast or somebody needs something else, again, I can be that resource for someone. And it's really people that I've vetted, that I trust, that I've done business with personally. So that's what I'm building is a great resource for people of, I know people that have integrity and
that's
authenticity.
Separate from Hammock Way of Life.
No, this is all part of Hammock Way of Life. Yeah.
Okay.
You ready for the second one?
Okay. So wait, can you just summarize Hammock Way of Life? It's you're interviewing entrepreneurs and helping them with whatever that dream looks like to them.
Right. I'm helping people live their dreams. Okay. And it's typically around a handful of things, right? Business, fitness, love, relationships, that sort of thing. What am I missing? Spirituality, right? So sort of those are the things that people really resonate towards when they come to me. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And I've seen it happen, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, can you give us some stories from your experience in Hammock Way of Life?
Yeah. So there's, one woman who came and she put something in the middle of her board that represented a woman's hand holding two champagne glasses. To her, the two champagne glasses meant a partnership, but
you're talking about a vision board.
A vision board, right? So one woman's hand, and I thought, wow. When she did that, I was like, I wonder if that's really what she wants. And so about 6 months later, she called me and said, I'm not getting what I want. I want to meet a man, and I'm not getting it. So I said, well, I think I know why. Let's deconstruct the board and put it together again. And she did that, put a picture from a magazine of the man of her dreams, and got married last September to the man of her dreams, who looks exactly like the magazine photo.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
That's so
really wild, right?
Really strange.
Right, I know, right?
Wow.
But it happens all the time. So another one wanted to start a real estate company and ended up doing that. Personally, for me, I like to share my own personal stories. I put a picture of a Buddha in the middle of my board one year, and that to me represented spirituality and just centering and all that. And the chamber had a trip, and I ended up at the largest Buddha temple in the world.
Really?
Just with exactly like my vision board photo, like weird, right? And so recently, my vision board has sat idle for a couple of years. I've been so busy helping other people launch their dreams that I haven't really focused on my own, and it wasn't coming true. I made 2 boards, 3 boards, 5 boards, and I just was stuck in it. And recently, it's all coming to fruition. I think my dreams were big, and it took the universe a minute to catch up. And I also stepped back from my position, so I wasn't as busy, and I had time to focus on it. So I'm traveling more, which was a big dream of mine, and just a lot of the the little things that I've wanted are coming true. So dreams really do come true from these. I don't know why it works, but I think it's just you get what you focus on.
Yeah. We're now joined by a feline friend. Who's this?
Which one is it? It's they're all gray. That's Emmy.
Emmy.
So yeah, I have Oscar and Emmy.
You have 3 cats?
And Sierra.
Yeah. So right now, Emmy,
these are the kittens. She's curious.
She's lurking around wondering what's a little spot on the podcast.
She does. She is very vocal too, so she might.
Yeah, no, I heard her. So what is the most common misconception about your business? Or about being like, did I read somewhere you're like a dream synergist?
Yes.
Is that like, what is the most common misconception about that?
Yeah. So people think I sell hammocks, first of all. They think I actually sell hammocks, right? And I don't sell hammocks. And then the other piece of it, I like to share this story too, is that, what I do can seem fluffy, right? It's a little bit touchy-feely for some people, especially men. And not all men, just some men. And so I went into this corporate company one day, and his words to me were, "Oh, I'm going to have so much in common with my kindergartner with all these glue sticks and paper around, right?" And kind of poo-pooing it a little bit. And at the end of it, when people present their boards, he kind of said, this is the only contemplative time I've had, other than the few minutes I take my daughter to school every morning, to really focus on myself and my family. And he got a little bit choked up about it when he said it. And so it was powerful for me. And I have moments like that all the time, like with clients, that the tougher they are, the softer they are on the inside. And I know that a little bit because I'm like that myself. And so those are beautiful moments for me, that people can understand the power of these vision boards, and it's not just hokey, and that when they start to see their dreams come true, they know it's real. And I like to hear stories of that, people getting engaged and doing whatever it is that they want.
How do they come to life? How do these dreams come to life? Because anybody can stick a magazine on a board and like stick it up in their room, and then it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, I have the answer. I didn't always have the answer because my own board wasn't coming true. But now that it is, I know the answer to that question. So I would always tell people, make 3 steps that you can take toward a goal. Now, you're a Mini Cooper driver, so you know what that's like. So for a while, I wanted a Mini Cooper. And I thought, oh, it's a Keeler, so I can't afford a Mini Cooper. So I had this preconceived notion in my head, right? And so someone said, test drive it. That's one step you can do that's free, right? So I test drove a Mini Cooper and ended up taking it off the lot. So I didn't even need steps 2 and 3. I just went to step number 1. It was within my budget, and we worked something out, and I drove off the lot with it. So that's one way. But lately, I've realized that it's not just making those steps. It's you have to be ready when the universe gives you the things that you want. So if travel comes your way, you can't say, I don't have time, I'm overbooked or whatever. If love comes your way, you can't, you have to sort of
you have to be
embrace
in that
it.
Place to...
Of acceptance, right? And I think what happens, or at least what happened for me, it was like I was either relying on other people to be with me in these dreams or something. And I needed to just make them happen on my own. So that's what's happening, and it's really pretty sweet.
It sounds, for those people who have maybe like watched The Secret, it kind of sounds like that a little bit.
Exactly.
Is
like
that
that. Exactly
like a bad
like that.
analogy?
Yes. No, not at all. No.
What is one question that you get asked the most?
Oh, good question. I think the same thing. How can you help me make my dreams come true? I think that people don't understand the how of it. I don't. What is it exactly? And also there's something to how am I doing it, right? I mean, I quit a pretty sweet job to do what I'm doing and to have a home-based business. And I think a lot of people are stuck in jobs or stuck in some part of their lives, and they don't know how to do it. So I think the biggest question is how can I do it? How can I be an artist? How can I be a home-based, worker? So yeah.
Okay. So you've helped so many people with build their businesses through the Entrepreneur Boot Camp. And it's kind of a similar thing now by doing the Hammock Way of Life. So would you say, is it correct to say that you're more of a life coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So life coach, business coach. It's also relationship coach, things like that.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, I just, when you said something earlier, it reminded me to just say this because I think it's important. So one of my highest values is kindness. I always ask people, what's your highest value? Because I think your values tie into anything you do. Mm-hmm. And I've said that for a long time, but I really have felt it since I started this business, that I had such a foundation of support that I didn't anticipate. People, I don't ask for help very often, and people were just there for me, right? What can I do? How can I help? What do you need? And I had no idea that was coming. And so that's been the most beautiful part of my starting this business, is that the support from this community. I don't know if it would have been in any community, but certainly in this one, where just by being kind to people in my past, it completely helped me now and continues to do that. So, yeah.
So then, as a life coach, dream synergist, is this something that you kind of you fell into, or did you do you have to go to school for this? Do you have to have like a certification? Like what qualifies you to guide people in achieving their dreams and everything?
So I am certified as an expressive arts therapist, and so that was part of it. And then you can see around here, right? Cheerleader award. Like, I really like inspiring other people, right? Yeah. So, and there's credentials, there's certification out there that's a little bit more serious. Mine really is creativity coaching. And so that's where I got certified through the European Graduate School in Saas-Fee, Switzerland. I was lucky enough to train under somebody named Marcus Alexander, who lived in the capital region for a little while before he moved to Canada and is now teaching in Switzerland still. And one of the most powerful experiences of my life, certainly changed my trajectory, and let me allow myself to be less of a perfectionist, like I told you about that art piece, and shift my perspective. He just at every encounter where I felt stuck or too hard on myself, and I mean, I'm my worst critic, he said, be gentle with yourself, right? Be gentle with yourself. And I listened to that, and it was really more about process. And so he shifted my whole life in that. And so yeah, that's the background that I have. And I, when I'm given something like that, I want to pass it on. Yeah. So at this stage, I just want to pass it on to other people.
So if somebody listening, if you're sitting there listening, thinking, I want to start this or I want to do that, what can you say to that person to help guide them in the right direction, like right here and right now?
Yeah, get out of your own way. Like, don't be afraid. I've seen so many people take risks, and it pays huge rewards. It's really scary to stay safe and to keep doing what you're doing. But what do you have to lose, right? Really, what do you have to lose? What's the worst that can happen? That you die, right? And just reincarnate as something else. Like, I don't know. I don't. I've seen a lot of people fail, and that's part of it. It's the learning process. You have to learn from your mistakes, and so you do it better next time. I've made lots of mistakes, and yeah, is it devastating at the time? A little bit, but you learn
stronger from those mistakes.
Yeah. So I would just say do it, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I still struggle a little bit with that, even when I'm given help. I just had a great offer from someone, and I'm really struggling to take it, and because it's big, and but I think it's important, to really get out of your own way and accept that kind of help. So.
Yeah. What's your other business?
The other business is called Biz Idea Shower, and only because somebody has fished all the names for business and registry. So everyone's talking about how there's a wedding registry and a baby registry, but there's not a business registry. So I don't know why there's not one. So I just said, let me start one. And I'm learning why there might not be one as I'm going along, because the registry piece of it is a little bit challenging to set up. So I have a technical team that's doing that for me. And Capital District Digital, I started out with Deirdre Ford, who really kicked it off with Many Styles web design. And then we transferred it over for more e-commerce flexibility and SEO.
What is this? What is a biz?
So it's a business registry where entrepreneurs can go on and register for the things they need. Not money, but mainly things and potentially services. So what's happening is that credit unions and printers and attorneys and accountants are in a resource page, so people can go there to find them. But people can also register for podcast microphones and laptops and doormats and staplers and whatever they need for their business, so that when people show up at their ribbon cuttings and grand openings, they're not coming with candy and flowers and balloons, which the entrepreneur doesn't really need. So it's a great way to support entrepreneurs, and it's a great way to have, to put your wish list. It's sort of part of Hammock Way of Life. You put your wish list up there so that people can buy you things. And so what's happening is people are donating things to entrepreneurs, not even having to buy them. Like, I have that. I've never used it. This person needs that. And then they go there. So that doesn't really generate a lot of income. I have a printer. Right. Right. But, I'm in it to help entrepreneurs. So
cool.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's pre-launch. Okay. So we are testing right now.
Okay.
And like I said, the business resource side is great. I have a lot of people sort of waiting for entrepreneurs to sign up. So if you're an entrepreneur, come on over, because we really need you to need stuff. You don't, it's really an easy lift. It's $60, $100 if you want some extra social media buzz and to be at the top of the page.
Walk me through the process of this
Biz Idea Shower?
Biz Idea Shower.
Yeah, so you basically...
Hi, I'm Maggie. I want to start a business and I need a shower.
Okay, great. So you come to our site and you pay $60 and you set up a registry. You tell us what you need and we set up the registry for you. That's the difficult piece. What happens when you go to baby registries and wedding registries, and even if you tried to do a business registry on your own, is that you'd have to go to each website like Target and Walmart and Best Buy and wherever else, and you'd have to find a password, get a password, each one of those things to set up a registry. And people are telling me that even wedding registries are like that. And it's difficult. You don't really want to choose one thing. Yeah. So we're allowing you to choose multiple things and setting up that registry for you. And then you kind of tell people, hey, I've set up this registry. When I have my grand opening, I don't need flowers and balloons and candy. I need this. So you send people there, you drive traffic there. We will help you drive traffic as well. And that's it. It's simple.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very well needed in small business communities.
Yeah. And it hopefully will build a community so that people know that they can, one, find stuff there. If they have extra stuff, if they're downsizing, they can go find entrepreneurs who need this. Yeah. But that was the one sticking point in all the years that I was doing this work, that people would come in and say, do you have any grants available? And there's so few grants. There was one big one in the entire time I was at the chamber that helped people, and that was it. And a facade improvement grant maybe, but there's really limited grants. And so I think this is just a way to be supportive of entrepreneurs and build community, because small businesses is the backbone of our societies.
Yeah. So one question that I'm asking everybody who's a guest on this podcast is, what do you typically do for lunch? It's an open-ended question. Right.
Yeah, it's sort of, it depends where I am every day. So I start my day with a green shake in the morning, and so spinach and celery and sometimes I have this other stuff, kale, like powdered kale stuff, and a bunch of protein shake stuff. But for lunch, it can be anything from a salad. I eat lunch at Panera once in a while, so I have some of their soups, and so it depends where I am every day. If I'm home, I'm probably doing salad, and if I'm out, it just depends where I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like most entrepreneurs.
Yeah. You kind of go, if you're at a luncheon and things like that, and I like hummus a lot, so I eat a lot of hummus.
Yeah, you're a vegetarian?
Mostly. Yeah. I don't. What do they call that? It's not a pescatarian. I don't eat much fish either. So every once in a while, I'm not a true vegetarian, but I like to say I'm mostly.
It's a good way to describe it.
Right. Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. Like I don't eat red meat, so chicken mostly if I'm going to, chicken or turkey. But that doesn't make me vegetarian. But I try to eat mostly vegetarian when I can. Yeah, mostly plant-based. Yeah. In fact, I need to plug Bear. If you haven't been to Bear Juice Bar, or Liza's in Schenectady, they're
Bear,
both really
B-E-A-R?
great. B-A-R-E.
Oh,
Annie
Bear.
Berdar just started it behind the hot yoga studio on Stuyvesant Plaza, and it has the best fruit bowls I've ever had.
And Liza's, I've never been, but I heard it's good.
Yeah, they're good places.
So where can people find you online?
Yeah, so it's hammockWayoflife.com or bizideashower.com.
B-I-Z Idea
Shower.
Idea Shower.
Yep.
Biz Idea Shower. And we're going to have show notes.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see some pictures of the studio where we're sitting right now. You can watch this in video format if you prefer video format. And so we'll have all the links to everything on our show notes.
Okay.
So anything else?
Well, just
Janet
thanks for
Tanguay?
inviting me. People like you, Maggie, inspire me. I mean, I love what you do, and that you're passionate about things, and it's definitely a mutual support. So I love working with entrepreneurs. So I appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So one more thing, your socials, is there any like Instagram or like Facebooks that people should like?
Same thing on Facebook. So Facebook page is Hammock Way of Life, Facebook page, Biz Idea Shower, Facebook page, Instagram, Hammock Way of Life page. I can't remember if I have a Biz Idea Shower one yet.
Okay.
And
that's
then,
coming.
Yeah, it's all coming. Yeah,
Okay.
April 1st is the official launch. It was postponed from February 1st, but it's in the works, and great things are happening with it. Yeah, I mean, we have T-shirts. I'll show you some of those in a minute, and vision board kits, and so it's sort of a lot of depth.
What's in
to
a vision
things.
board kit?
Yeah, so Vision Board Kit has glue sticks and scissors, and it comes with poster board and 5 magazines that are custom to whatever your dream is, and a worksheet on what to do with it. And the kit itself can be used as the board, if that makes sense. So if you have dreams that you don't want people to see, you can put them on the inside. And then the ones that you want more public, you can put on the outside. So you can actually use the kit and we're actually working with Simon Lintz of Virtue and Hot Sauce. You should interview him sometime if you want to. And he's going to help us with branding that into a much more interesting kit than it is now. So right now it's pretty plain Jane. But,
we've got a couple of vision kits right here in front of us.
Yeah, that we customize as we go.
Mic stands.
And he's going to make it so that it's fluid, and we may get a fulfillment company to do the actual work for us at some point, so I can be in a hammock.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome.
Man, that time goes by so fast.
It does, right? Yeah, I know. It's fast. Yeah, thank you, Maggie.
But
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Janet. That was artist and entrepreneur Janet Tanguay, owner and founder of Hammock Way of Life and Biz Idea Shower. Visit our show notes at workinglunchpod.com for more information on these businesses. You can follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. We're at Working Lunch Pod on both of those platforms. And if there's someone who you would like to be featured here as a guest on Working Lunch Pod, please email us at workinglunchpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening to Working Lunch. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. And remember, your biggest strength is who you are.